You know, there were a few things I wanted to talk about today. I was going to either talk about the Kurt Cobain conspiracy, which is in the news again, or I was going to talk about Prince Andrew being arrested, but I didn't really feel like I wanted to talk about these serious topics. You know what? I set up this green screen, I turned on this game, I set up my camera, and I turned everything on, and I shot the Kurt Cobain one like 5 or 6 times, and I was like, you know what? This just isn't working out for me today. I want to talk about something a little bit funnier, a little bit goofier, maybe something a little bit sillier even. So that's what I want to talk about instead, okay? I'm going to be talking about a guy named William Shatner. For some reason, is still alive, and he's going to be going out there and making an all-star metal album. So before we talk about this William Shatner-led all-star metal album, what I'm going to need you to do is hit like and press subscribe. And if you're on a mobile device and you see that hype button, I want you to send me some of those hype points as well. Hit hype for William Shatner. Now, I've never been a really big fan of Star Trek or anything else that really William Shatner is in, but I always thought that he was so funny, and anytime that he was hosting anything, I always got a good kick out of him, and his songs are very funny as well, okay? And if you're unfamiliar with who William Shatner is, well, I guess I'll break that down really quick. He is a 94-year-old celebrity. I don't know, I was going to call him an actor, but he's so much more than an actor. He's so much more than a musician. He's so much more than just a mere personality. He is a force of nature, and somehow, some way, 94 years old, still kicking. The last thing I heard about William Shatner was he was in space. Well, I don't know if it was really space, but he did the Katy Perry thing before Katy Perry, and he had like a nice little cry, and he was pondering the existence of the world and everything. And I think that was pretty wholesome and unique, because this is William Shatner, okay? The guy who played, Captain Kirk in Star Trek. He was made a career of being an in-space guy, and he finally got to go to space. Isn't that sick? So I think that's a pretty poetic story, and pretty wholesome, and enough to shed a tear about, you know? So good for him. And then the next thing that I really know about William Shatner was he guest hosted Raw one time. So I had a good time with that as well. Nothing really else comes to mind, really. I'm sure he did a lot of other things, and I know that he did. I did no research before this video. Like I said, I was talking about Kurt Cobain when I realized I'm just going to talk about William Shatner instead. And the reason why I'm talking about William Shatner, and you might be like, yo, that's William Shatner. He doesn't really have a place on your channel. Well, kind of. I kind of talk about metal, but one of the names involved in his metal project is definitely somebody that we talk about on this channel. And I might have put him in the thumbnail. I probably did. I'm still gonna talk about it mysteriously and cryptidly until we get to the actual reveal of it. But William Shatner hitting the studio to make an all-star metal album. So essentially what that means, from what I can gather, is that he's getting a bunch of collaborators to come hit the studio with him, and they're all going to be relatively famous, or at least known from other projects. That's what all-star means, right? So we're going to go over here to lambgoat.com, and I'm just going to read this article here real quick. And it says, legendary actor and personality William Shatner has announced plans to release a new album, one billed as a heavy metal extravaganza powered by a veritable army of metal stars, each one personally selected and handpicked by Shatner. Fuck yeah, he's gonna have his pick of the litter. He's gonna be like, I want this rock and roller, I want this fucking metalhead, I want this toy, and I want that toy, and my sandbox is gonna be filled with metalheads. That's pretty cool. Who doesn't want to be on a William Shatner-led metal record? That's insane. Then it goes on to say, among those who have recorded with the 94-year-old are Zakk Wylde from Ozzy Osbourne and from many other things. Black Label Society, I think, is his other band or whatever. I'm not really personally into a lot of the things that Zakk Wylde does. I know his guitar, the white and black swirl guitar, the famous Zakk Wylde guitar. So that's cool, getting him on there. Richie Blackmore of Deep Purple and Rainbow. You got Edgar, I don't know how to say this name, Froese? Edgar Froese of Tangerine Dream. All right, sounds good. Wayne Kramer of MC5. Now that's a cool name. That's a deep cut pick that I'm really happy to see out here. And then, ladies and gentlemen, He's getting Henry Rollins. Henry Rollins is going to be making new music with William Shatner. Now, we thought that he was going to be making new music with Ian MacKaye, and it turned out that he was just going to be re-releasing old music from back in the day with Ian MacKaye. It was very cryptid and all that sort of stuff. I made a couple videos about it a couple months ago, but now it really does look like Henry Rollins is going to be hitting the studio to be making new music, everybody. This is huge news. This is absolutely massive news for Black Flag fans, for Henry Rollins band fans, for everybody, for fans in punk in general, hardcore. Henry Rollins is finally coming back to music. This is insane. This can't be true. And it is true. I am telling you right now. William Shatner is bringing Henry Rollins back to the studio. I'm a very happy boy hearing all of this news. And we have a direct quote, a statement from William Shatner himself about this all-star metal project. And it says the following, quote, "Metal has always been a place where imagination gets loud. This album is a gathering of forces, each artist bringing their fire, their precision, their chaos. I chose them because they have something to say and because metal demands honesty. I've spent a lifetime exploring in both reality and fiction. Now I'm stepping into the unknown once again with a new project in heavy metal. I am covering Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, as well as a number of new songs written by my team." Jesus Christ, that's amazing. The whole project is destined for this year. I hope you will join me in this exploration. Are you kidding me? I'm definitely going to be there for you with this exploration. First, he was an actor pretending to go to the stars. Then he actually went to the stars, and now he's finally making a record with literal stars. This is beautiful. This is wonderful. This is an absolute dream come true. How is this the reality that we're living in? I'm absolutely over the moon for this. There's all sorts of doom and gloom out there every time you look at the news, right? So many bad things, so many bad people getting away with bad things. It's awful. You hate to see all of it. And you don't normally get a lot of good news, but here we go. This thing is not only good news, it's interesting news, but it's also maybe a little bit ominous news. This seems like kind of like bucket list stuff. And when you're a 94-year-old gentleman, you're probably going to be wanting to do your bucket list things, you know? And I don't want to bring any sort of grim, dark stuff into this video because this is not a grim, dark thing whatsoever. This is something to be celebrated. But I'm sort of kind of getting David Bowie's last album vibes here. And I don't want to say that necessarily out loud. I don't want to will that into existence because I want William Shatner to go on and have a wonderful, healthy rock and roll career. This budding 94-year-old rock and roll rookie, that's unbelievable. I'm looking at a picture of him right now. He's holding a Les Paul, and he's holding it upside down. I might show it in this video, I might not. If you see it here, isn't it funny? If it's not here, sorry for not showing it. I'm making this video late in the day. I want to get it out in time, so I hope you understand, or whatever. But yeah, that is a veritable list of names. Zakk Wylde, Ritchie Blackmore, Wayne Kramer. And if he's out there handpicking these names himself, they must mean something to him, enough to get Henry Rollins back in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian MacKaye couldn't do it. Nobody in the Descendants, nobody in DC, nobody in Hermosa Beach could get Henry Rollins back into the studio. But this is beautiful. This Canadian legend, this media icon, William Shatner, metal album. So I want to know what you guys think of this whole thing, obviously. What do you think this thing is going to sound like? Me, I think it's going to be just kind of like, I don't know, maybe a little bit tepid rock and roll, and he's going to call it metal, and it's going to be very funny and very cute and very charming. I don't think it's going to be very heavy. I don't think there's going to be a lot of screaming or growling. But wouldn't that be great if William Shatner got all these guys into the studio and came out with like this metalcore record? I think that would be so funny. And if these guys that he have listed weren't just like on single tracks, if this was like his band, that would be so sick as well. But I only think that these guys are going to be featuring on one song apiece. but that's just me speculating. I don't know. I have no idea how these guys are going to be factored into the making of this record. I'm just very interested in it. Oh, fuck, man. If fucking Henry Rollins is on every track, along with all these other guys, that's fine. All these other guys, they're whatever to me. You know what I mean? I don't really listen to all those other bands. But Henry Rollins, Black Flag, very, very much relevant to my music taste and to what we talk about here on the channel. And another exciting thing from this press release that we got from William Shatner is that he's saying he's going to be doing it for this year. He's not gonna mull about and be like, nah, we're gonna let this cook in the studio. He knows that he's a 94-year-old man and he needs to get this shit out there, and I think that that's great. So there is a part of me that feels it might sound a little bit rushed and a little bit half-baked as well, but that's all just gonna add to the charm. This is William Shatner leading a heavy metal album. Absolutely fantastic. I need it to be heavy. God damn, if it was actually heavy and there were breakdowns and big chug-a-lugs and the sing-alongs, that would be so sick. Oh man, imagine like a gallop, and then William Shatner, just the high-pitched vocals. That would be so sick as well. I have no idea what to expect. And out of all the news that's happening out there right now, I am so happy to bring this to you. And that just means that this video is probably not gonna do so well, because good news does not do great on YouTube, okay? YouTube is all about bad news. So if you're still here watching this video, I'm gonna need you to hit like, subscribe, ring the bell, and hit hype. Let's spread the good news. Henry Rollins is coming back. William Shatner is gonna be leading this metal record. I have no idea how I'm gonna package this video because these are two really great pieces of good news that I really could package this video like. William Shatner makes heavy metal record, or Henry Rollins returning to music. That's probably what it's gonna be. Henry Rollins returning to music with William Shatner. I think that's gonna be enough to pique the interest. Were you a Star Trek person? A Trekkie, as it were? Who's your favorite Star Trek character? You know, I've always been more of a Spock guy. Spock's the fucking man. That haircut rules, those ears, come on, give me a break. And then this article concludes by saying that additional album details, including title, track list, release date, lead single, and full roster of features, will be revealed soon. So we don't have any of that information yet, just the bare bones that Henry Rollins is returning to the studio with the motherfucking legend himself, William Shatner. This is incredible. What a great day to be a Canadian. So I'm gonna re-emphasize this hardcore. I'm gonna need your engagement on this video. Good news does poorly in the algorithm. Comment, reply to a comment, engage with each other down there. That would be pretty sick. Also, February 25th, comic book is coming out. I'm gonna be going live on this channel 9 a.m. And if I sell out of these things, all 24 of them, I'm gonna give myself a special haircut live on the air. If you've been watching my I Hate Jeff channel, the avatar with the two mohawks, I'm gonna do that thing live on the internet. But I will have to sell out of them. 24 copies, February 25th, next Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there. I wrote that thing, I drew that thing, and you're gonna wanna read that thing. Okay, goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.